Hey, welcome back to Dig Dug Gold. It's been a little bit. I'm finally home for a week, so I've got a bunch of videos to film. Today is called Mud Flap Molds. That's right. You won't guess what I found out on the road this week, or the last 3 weeks, I should say. It was a truck mud flap, and I looked at it, and I'm going, "You got to be kidding me! It's perfect. It's perfect." Now you won't be able to find this yourself. Just, I'm sure there's mud flaps laying all over the place. I see them every once in a while, but it's not like finding a 5-gallon bucket. You see those all over the place. So anyway, come back and I'll show you what I did and how I'm going to use it. All right? Talk to you in a little bit.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Okay, so here is the big mud flap that I found. And if you look at it real close, what's it have? Deep V matting. Look at that. So what I did, of course, as you see, I've got duct tape here. I reused some Pater's sticks from my other mold that I was using with the tile. And I've got a fork here. And of course, up here in our thing here, we've got glass cleaner. There we go. All right. So what I did first was I first cleaned it off. It doesn't look like it because it's got a lot of tar on it, a lot of tar staining on it. So I went and I tried to scrub as much as I could. Then what I did was I took my fork. Let's see if I can show it here. There we go. There's my fork. And I went through and I scraped them all like this. And they fit perfect. The forks, the grooves and forks, the fork itself fit the grooves perfectly. And I was able to get all that tar out. Now I can't get the staining out, but I got the tar out. So then what I did was I took my tape measure and I measured what my sluice box, actually the length of it. So the length is 9¼ inches. And so then I evened it up here, used this as a guide up here for my first stick here, and then I taped it down, made sure it was level with this down here, and I taped it down. Then I built this side here and ran it perfectly along the channel here, the edge where the other part is, and same with down here. Okay, then I measured out 9¼ inches from the edge. So as you see, 9¼ inches. That's the width of my sluice box. Then I put the centerpiece in. I didn't want to tape it down on the bottom, so I taped it down on the top. So it's kind of loose, but that'll work. And did the same thing over here on this one, but since I wasn't going beyond this, I could tape the edge down over here. And there we go. I've got a double, there we go, that's a little better. I got a double mold. And then if I get real ambitious at some point in time and actually get a saw, I'm gonna cut this all up like here, all around here, so that I'll just have my mold and I can just reuse it over and over again. And this is hard rubber. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put silicone over the top of each mold, and I can do a double mold that way with silicone. When it dries, and I can turn it off, trim it up, and put it in my sluice box. So perfect. That's what I was looking for. So anyway, that meets that need there. I still need a big drop riffle effect to break up the clay, but at least I've got something here that I can use in the meantime and I'm still planning on ordering Alan Robertson's 3D molds, but this will work in the meantime. All right, so come on back and I'll show you how I press the molds. Hey there, welcome back, and it is another day. I've been stalled out this whole week with car issues. Transmission went out and we had to junk the car and get another one, so I didn't get a chance to do my tinkering this week, so I'm here at the end of the week trying to get caught up. So anyway, I'm here in my makeshift workshop, otherwise known as my back porch. So anyway, back to where we were at. Let me show you. Okay, we made this mold, silicone mold, from a mud flap off of a semi that I found while I was out on the road. And now we're going to put a silicone and make a double mold out of it to fit my sluice box here. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. As you see over there is my soap and water solution. And here's my silicone. So we're going to take the silicone, put it in the soap and water solution, and we're going to get it to the point where it forms a ball. I'm going to use 2 tubes of silicone to fit into each mold. So I've got 4 tubes total. And then from there we'll let it sit, and then we'll pull it out and we'll see how we did. Okay? Alright, thanks. Okay, as you see, the first step is to cut the nose off the silicone. I use an all-purpose silicone, 100% silicone. I've made a couple mats with it, so it works. It cost me $5.83 at Home Depot. Now, I like cutting mine at an angle, and I realize that we're not doing precision work. That's okay, I can't do precision work anyway. I don't work well with my hands, other than to turn a steering wheel. That's why I'm a truck driver. So anyway, we're not going to be using precision, but that's just the way I like it. I like having an angle to it. So the next step will be to puncture the cap, or the seal, and pour it into the soap and water solution. I used approximately 25% soap, 75% water. I'll add more soap as I need to if it sticks to my hands and doesn't form. But that's where we're starting at right now. Okay, as you see, I poured 1 tube in. I'm going to pour the second tube in here in a couple moments. Okay, I just put the second tube of silicone in. I'm going to let it soak a little bit, just for a few seconds, and then I'm going to start bringing it together and letting it ball up. Okay, as you see, it's now into a ball. And I'm going to take that ball and I'm going to put it on this side of the riffles, if you will, or V matting, the mud flat matting. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put soap on the matting itself to use that as a way to release silicone once it's dry. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe that in, and then I'll put the silicone on the matting. It's okay where it's at, sitting in the solution, it's fine. Okay? Alright, be right back. Well, my old sainted father was a earth science teacher back in the day. Taught 7th and 8th grade science. His love of science apparently did not fall to me as an inheritance. He was really good with his hands too. I'm not. So anyway, I made a mistake and I purchased silicone caulk. And I'm not going to use that silicone caulk. So I thought, alright, well, I know everybody said it doesn't work, but I might as well go ahead, and since I already made the mistake and bought the stuff, go ahead and try it anyway. So this is what I look like so far. Here we are. It's flattened out now. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to start working on the second silicone mat for the other side. Alright, come on back. Okay, so now I've got it spread into the mold. I'm going to now flatten out the top using my used silicone container with some soap on it. Yes, it looks like silicone caulk. It looks like white worms. Nice job, Steve. My dad would call this a Fuller flop, and it most certainly is. Well, we'll see if it works. We'll try. Here we are. Here's my silicone caulk ball. It actually formed a lot faster, a lot easier than the silicone, straight silicone did. So I wonder if that will be my undoing. But we'll see. So we're going to transfer it over to the second side. I've already used my towel with soapy water and put it over on top of that. So we'll just go ahead and start forming it and see if it works. Okay, here we be. It's all spread out, and took the empty silicone bottle, put it in my soapy water over there, and then came and evened it out. Now, everything was the same, but from my understanding, it's in the drying process where it makes it separates the men from the boys, so to speak. So we'll see how this dries, if it takes longer, or if it doesn't dry at all. We'll see. But anyway, so I've got regular silicone 100% over there, and I've got silicone caulk that I bought by accident, not paying attention to the label as much as I thought I was, and that's what I've got here. So anyway, there's our experiment so far. I'll be back when it dries. Okay, well, they look like they've hardened. It's been roughly an hour now, and so we'll pull them out and see what we've got. Okay, here we are. It actually both worked. Worked out pretty well. So even the caulking silicone worked well. It's all dry. Now there's a couple rough spots in here that were where I didn't press down real well. Looks like, but by and large, real happy with it. All we gotta do is trim it up a little bit, and they should be measured out, ready to go. And so there we go. We got us some mud flap silicone molds. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, thumbs up, and please leave a comment. You're going to be driving this video, driving this channel, so you know, I guess the important lesson of this is you got to use what you have available to you until you can buy the stuff that you really want to work with. So thank you, Alan Robertson, once again for coming up with the idea of silicones, Sluice box mats. Thank you for everyone, including Flower Wizards and Utah Avalanche, for perfecting the process, and we're just going to continue on, and I hope to eventually be able to purchase molds from Alan that'll work a lot better, but this is what I've got to work with, so not ashamed of it at all. Alright, have a good day, and we'll see you on the next video.